Last week, during the opening round of the Pro Rough Stock Rapid City Open, bareback rider Ryan Gray of Reardon, Washington spurred his way to 86 points aboard Powder River Rodeo's Big Blue. Bull rider McKenna Wimberly regained some of his championship form with an 81-point effort on Flying V Rodeo's Ghost Face. And bronc rider J.J. Elsher made his way to the top of the leaderboard with an 80-point ride on Double Take of Powder River Rodeo. It's the last chance go-round before the World Finals. It's their one last shot to break into the top 12. Who will it be? Find out next. Welcome once again to the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center here in Rapid City, South Dakota. We're settling in for the Wrangler Final Four showdown round of the Rapid City Open, and it's the last showdown round before the PRS World Finals. Hello everyone, I'm Justin McKee, and joining me as always, world champion bareback rider Kelly Timberman and the amazing racer Cord McCoy as we get ready to talk about this last round before the World Finals. Cord, what's amazing to me is how many guys that made it here that are on the outside of the top 12 that can actually make it to the finals if they do their job here tonight.
Well, you just look at the bareback riding, the very first one, Wynn Ratliff. It just snuck in the fourth position coming into the Final Four showdown. All he is 30 points out, so pretty much all he's got to do is ride his horse to go into the top 12 here, but sometimes that's a little easier said than done.
You're right, Gordon. Sometimes just staying on is the hardest ride to make, and Kelly, as we talk about the Wrangler Final Four showdown round, the livestock is always exceptional, but there's also an exceptional story from one of the families who bring us the livestock here this week.
Yeah, you know, this year we had unfortunately we lost one of our best men, cowboy men out there, one of our contractors, Leroy Fetting. This is a guy that spent his life building this breeding program and the horses that they've got. You know, he brought two of them to our Final Four this weekend. Phil Fetting was Leroy's dad. Started the company in 1953, started raising bucking livestock. And Leroy took over in 1992 and spent 22 years perfecting his breeding program. His legacy is definitely going to live on the quality of those horses that he produced. It's great for us, for the PRS, to be able to showcase that great quality in those Fetting bucking horses.
That's right, and speaking of great horses, one of those great horses will be right here in the bareback riding. Ryan Gray has got the horse Arapaho. But first up is Wynn First Ratliff, and he just needs to make a qualified ride to make the Pro Rough Stock World Finals. All right, he's got Dragon from Powder River Rodeo Company.
We could call him an eliminator. You've got to do things right to get him, get to that 8-second whistle. So,
all right, well, Wynn Ratliff out of Louisiana has got things going his way. He just needs a ride, and he is out of shape, and he's in trouble. And oh my, he may have double grabbed. He may have reached down with his free hand and took himself out of not only money in this round, but also a trip to the PRS World Finals.
Man, good horse, a lot of kick, a lot of power coming away from his hand, and that horse is in the off lead and just wants to whip him over that shoulder. And he had a good start out across there. He was a little bit tight, and that horse kind of used it against him, and yeah, he come down doggone.
Oh,
Zero.
Just what he did not need to happen has happened. Wynn Ratliff goes down as we go now to Stephen Dent. Here's another world-class athlete in pro rodeo and on the Pro Rough Stock Series, number 33. He needs a big finish here to make it to the World Finals.
We talk about a start. That's what we want to see in that start. Good, solid feet. But right when that horse blew, he come around to the left like that and wasn't getting off the ground with his front feet. And that first spur lick, he got over that horse's neck with his leg and could not get it back on the other side.
Here's your Rocky replay, working it to the inside, doing a good job. Oh, he spurred over the neck, and that's what got him behind.
Yeah, and it's one of those things is, yeah, the horse got him strung out and was coming around tight, but I think his upper body got back behind him a little bit too far, and then that horse not getting up off the ground real high kind of caused that to happen.
77.5 as we go to the number 5 rider this season from Kansas. Jared Keelan is on Justin's kitty. Only one qualified ride on this horse this year.
This is an electric, hard to ride black mare Sutton's, and you can tell she kind of cut out at the end, but Jared was doing everything he could up to that point just to stay in contact with it. I mean, you talk about something that's got a little bit of extra flair, a little bit of pizzazz. This horse, every time she blows up, it's just like a firecracker's lit off underneath her feet. She's just fun to watch, electric, you know?
Oh, fun to watch, not fun to ride there for me, Kelly.
74 points, and he just goes, woo, I'm glad that's over. So let's go to the last man and the number 22 man for the season. Ryan Gray has got to win to make it to the World Finals. He needs a 76 to win, and look what horse he has.
Yeah, he's got the horse to do it. He's got the 6-year-old horse of Fettings. Now, this horse is a half-sister to Cactus Juice that Casey Field just won the first round at Vegas on. On top of that, this horse is a breeding animal. She is bred back to Chuckulator, the world-famous saddle bronc Chuckulator. If I was going to be a betting man, I would say Ryan's got the horse underneath him to qualify for our finals.
All right, here it is. It's a showdown. One ride can get him to the finals. He needs a 76 or higher, and man, it started out good.
Man, look at that horse get up and look at the kick. Direction change. Kind of got set up right there, but man, if you're going to pluck one out of a pen of bad ones, that's the one you want to have.
I love the recovery after he got set up. Here's a Rocky replay slowing it down for you.
Ooh, look at the height in the air, the kick, the direction change. I mean, when you're a judge, that's what you want to see. You want to see all of
Look at that, set him up, but boy, I mean, he just reared back and gave him the boots.
Woo,
what
Leroy,
a ride.
You're looking down, smiling now. Awesome.
Ryan Gray, last chance for the PRS World Finals, is going to win it. Steven Dent does good, but just misses the World Finals. And Win Ratliff needed to ride to get in there as well. Ryan Gray, the champion.
Tonight, there's a tough group of guys. You look down the list, I mean, those guys, every one of them ride good. And, there's some good horses out tonight, so just try to stay focused on my task, and that's just excited to be here. I'm excited to be a part of the PRS. I know this is new for me, and I've watched it and just haven't really had an opportunity to be, to be involved with them, and so I'm excited to be a part of it.
So the official point totals has Ryan Gray at number 11 for the season, so he'll make it to the Rustock Bowl 3. Bull riding is up next. Season leader McKenna Wimberly hasn't been in the winner's circle since Portland last September, but he'll have to fend off hard-charging Cody Johansson to get there. Back now here in Rapid City for the Rapid City Open, and Gordon McCoy, it's time for bull riding.
And McKenna Wimberly has locked down his #1 spot going into the World Finals. He hasn't won a buckle since Portland, but he's got one of his favorite bulls tonight, Legend. Legend bucked him off once. He was 90 points on him as well. It's the third time these two have matched up together. Who's going to break the tie? Cody Johansson is sitting second, and he's got Flying Train, another world champion bucking bull. Whoever rides best of these two is probably going to get a win.
But keep in mind that if Cody Johansson takes first or second, he will make it to the World Finals. If he bucks off, it's over. There will be some great challenges, but there will also be the opportunity for big wins here. Let's get started. Let's take it down to the buck and shoots, and Dustin Bowen on Closing Time from Valmers. Closing Time was selected for the PRS World Finals last year.
What a good bull, but these guys have seen these bulls before. Ron Valmer has put these bulls on the truck, so you got a good idea what they're doing. And did he make it?
Yeah, he did. The number 6 rider in the world, Dustin Bowen out of Pennsylvania, has done it. He won Toledo earlier this year, and he rides the bull that John Young won in Iowa with an 86.5.
Well, he had him knocked out right there, but right there at the whistle, when you kind of want to clamp down for the whistle, that bull switches directions, and he just barely makes the whistle, looks like. But heck yeah, when the Final Four make the whistles, mission accomplished.
Old Whistle came at a good time, 80.5. He'll total 155 points. As we go to Clayton Savage, number 19 rider this season out of Wyoming, has drawn the Magician from Flying V.
Yeah, he brought a great set of bulls to come in here to the short round, and the best rides are going to go to the top. This another bull goes both ways. Just step forward just a little bit, roll him off over into his hand.
Oh, man, Magician looked like a cupcake for a while, but he saved his best trick for the end of that 8-second ride.
Well, I always relate these bulls to pitchers a lot. You know, a lot of them use the fastball to start with, but they got change-ups coming later, so you got to be ready for the moves. When he got back over there, he just a step behind there. You can see that, and the bull knew it to it and just put the power to him.
Just got raised up, no score, and Clayton Savage may very well miss the finals by a second. Let's go now to Cody Johansson, the young man from Kersey, Colorado, moved up to 17 in the world standings after the long round. Here's a flying train, the 13 Bull of the Year.
Boy, what an opportunity here. This bull switching directions and throwing the power to him. Oh, what a ride right there. He just about did bareback right there at the end. Kelly finished with both legs on one side.
You know, a lot of you are wondering, where has this kid been? Well, I'll tell you, when he was 18, he broke his neck and he broke his back. And then this last year, he's been in a coma. He's had all kinds of wrecks. But I'm telling you, this guy stays healthy. We may see a superstar in the making right here.
Yeah, he's coming to win, because there were several opportunities that he had to get bucked off for that bull to get him on the ground, and he's loving it.
Yeah, works for his uncle's ranch there in Grover, Colorado. Good score. It's an 82 as we go to McKenna Wimberly going up in the rubber match against the legend.
Well, McKinnon's seen him several times. He ought to know all the moves, and he is tapped off right off the bat.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Timing is everything, and McKenna Wimberly is packing a trailer load of timing for the legend here tonight. He dominates him, no problem at all. He rode him like a carnival pony.
Oh, all day long, round and round. And he was going to have to think of something different than a left move to get McKenna Wimberly on the ground right there. He got him in the sweet spot and wouldn't let him go.
He was stuck to him like rivets on your Wranglers. He wasn't going anywhere. 80 points. He needed an 81 for the championship, and that means Cody Johansson will win the title. The comeback story. The kid, the 22-year-old kid who's been injured most of his career, sneaks up on everybody for his first PRS championship.
I seen that bull in the short round a few times. He bucked and was out of line and kind of hard to ride, and just worked out. I've been watching these deals for a while and been trying to get on them. They finally got on both these deals as alternates, so it pans out really good to jump out and win one.
It's not only going to pan out for a win here, it's going to pan out for a top 12 position and a qualification to the PRS World Finals. He ends up number 8 for the season. It's time for saddle bronc riding. South Dakota's Ryan Elsher has one last shot to qualify for the World Finals as well. Can he do it? Welcome back to the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center here in Rapid City, South Dakota. We're about set for our Saddle Bronc Wrangler Final Four Showdown round at the PRS Rapid City Open. But first, some highlights of the PRS third qualifying event for the American. We had them earlier today. The top 5 riders in bareback and saddle bronc advanced to the semifinal round this February in Fort Worth for the American. In bareback, Bill Tudor of Huntsville, Texas totaled 77.5 to win. First, Ratliff, 79 points. Jared Keelan of Uniontown, Kansas, 80.5. And Agar, South Dakota's Joe Gunderson is on his way back to the semifinals. And the top rider was Chad Rutherford of Itasca, Texas, after an 83-point ride on Wagon's Rockin' Angel. In saddle bronc, Clint Hopping of Franklin, Texas advances after his ride. He'll be joined by Goodwill, Oklahoma's Nat Stratton. And qualifying third was Leighton Green of Meeting Creek, Alberta. Jesse Bale of Camp Crook, South Dakota. He'll be making his first trip to the American semifinals. And qualifying in the top spot is Stephen Dent of Mullen, Nebraska, after an 80-point ride on Brookman's Beaver Bait. Unless one of these men wins the PRS World title, they'll be eligible for the $1 million payday at RFD TV's The American, March 1st. For a complete list of the qualifiers, log on to the ProRoughstock.com/TheAmerican. And for even more details on how The American works, check out the podcast at mastersoftheride.com and look for episode 28, all about the American. Kelly, as we look at this field for tonight's Wrangler Final Four Showdown round, all 4 of these riders are past PRS event champions.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent here. Isaac Diaz is coming off a win last time in Louisville. Tyrell Smith won Salina. JJ has been dominant as a season leader all year long. But his older brother, Ryan Elsher, is the one to watch tonight. He needs 672 points to make it to the finals. That means he has to win this round.
So first up is Elm Springs, South Dakota, Ryan Elsher, who's on the outside of the top 12 at number 15. He has got to get some points to make it to the World Finals. He's on Fat Bottom Girl from Powder River Rodeo Company.
He's got a chance here. This is a big, strong horse. Jumps out across the pin, and whoa, bucks him down 2.8 seconds.
Man, I don't know what happened there, fellas.
Well, it looked like he just, maybe just out of time just a little bit, and he stuck that left foot over the shoulder point there, and it stuck there. It just jerked him over into it. It's got to give some time.
Wait, let's just give some credit to the Fat Bottom Girl, huh? She's just showing off some detachability.
I see she give her old head back there a little bit, too.
Yeah,
she is a eliminator. She earned the E.
No score here in the Wrangler Final Four Championship round. Here's Isaac Diaz, who moved up one spot to number 7 last week. He is on Wayne's World from Sutton Rodeo Company.
This is another famous stud of Sutton Rodeo. Wayne's World really jumps out across there, kind of out of line. Had some mallards, had a switch knife in his back pocket.
I think that's called a saddle whipping. He took a saddle whipping there. He kept hitting him with it before he came off too. Oh, that'll leave some black marks on you. That saddle is solid wood.
Well, look at the horse's front feet moving, but look at him work that head. If you watch that replay, watch his head. He looks back, looks up and down. That's not playing fair. That's throwing the kitchen sink, switchblade knife, you name it.
I think that horse for Rain, you maybe give him either a fist or moose ears, depending on what jump it is.
What a year Terrell Smith has had out of Montana, number 2 in the world standings on Looking Good from Fettings.
Boy, you talk about looking good. Jump. Look at her curl those front feet and kick overhead. What a pluck out of a pin and rank horse.
Right at the whistle.
Well, he just needs a ride to take the lead here. Looks like he's going to get that.
Fettings, they brought some of the nicest horses you could imagine to get on. This horse, look at her curl those front feet, get in the air, kick overhead, lots of timing. He's just lucky he didn't get thrown in the stands again right there.
84.5 commanding lead for Terrell Smith. He won at Salina and Louisville. He's looking to win in Rapid City, but he's going to have to get by this guy. J.J. Elsher, number 1 this season. He is on Shaken Not Stirred from Powder River.
Woo! Horse kind of had a stall, but really getting up in the air with those front feet, but, not kicking as consistent out across there, and kind of use a little bit too much arena to get the score that Looking Good, but JJ sat up there and made the classic JJ aggressive spur ride. We've seen him at Salina, he wasn't as solid in those markouts, but boy, he sure stepped it up in front of the home crowd.
Is there any way he can catch Terrell Smith?
Well, Terrell just had so much better of a horse. I mean, his horse setup was classy, and they might match up with spurring rides, but it's going to be hard to beat Tyrell with the horse he drew.
78 points is not enough for J.J. Elsher, so Tyrell Smith will get his 3rd win of the season. The Rapid City champion is with Kayla Zadell.
The flank man told me he usually takes about X and 2 and just kind of goes out there and it's pretty nice. And it's a little bit stronger than I thought she was going to be, but I mean, it's pretty fun at the same time. So hopefully we come into the finals with a head of steam and see if I can't give JJ a run for his money when we get there.
Still to come from here in Rapid City, we'll update all the important final regular season world standings and hand out the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight and the John Deere Big Buck of the Night. Rough Stock fans, get your tickets now for the Rough Stock Bowl 3, the PRS World Finals, February 2nd and 3rd, right here in Rapid City, South Dakota. Tickets are going fast, so don't miss out. Log on to ProRoughStock.com to reserve your seats now. Also, be sure to follow Pro Rough Stock on all of your favorite social media platforms and YouTube for all the past shows and additional videos. Also, we invite you to subscribe today to the PRS official podcast, Masters of the Ride. It's all free and at Masters of the Ride on iTunes or visit mastersoftheride.com. Well, gentlemen, here are the world standings as we have them right now, still unofficial though. Kelly, take a quick look at the bareback riding and what are the big stories?
Jared Keelon just jumped up to 2nd place on that wild ride on Justin's Kitty. But look at old Ryan Gray. After that major injury, gets his first event win, jumps up into the 11th spot and qualified for the PRS World Finals in the bareback riding.
Let's take a look. Gordon McCoy at bull riding.
There's so much to look at in that bull riding there. That is an elite group of 12 guys. McKenna Wimberly still number 1. Dave Samsel going into his last event. He's calling his shot. This is it after a long career. Cody Johansson, he's coming off a hot streak, just winning Rapid City Championship. It's going to be a great field of guys.
We'll show you now the saddle bronc riding. Can anybody catch JJ is the question.
You know, one thing to remember is that our World Finals, the points double. I think they could get close, but I don't believe that anybody could mathematically take over. But look at old Tyrell Smith, jumped up to second with his third event win. And then Jade Blackwell jumped up into the standings. Last event, he made it count.
Time to award the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight of the Night. Cord, which rider do you have?
You know that Cody Johansson on a world champion bucking bull, flying train. This bull tried everything but the kitchen sink at him and gritted it out right at the whistle. That is a cutting edge performance, and I'm a Cody Johansson fan now.
There's nothing like the best ride, and there's nothing like a Kershaw. And now let's hand out the top bucking honors with the John Deere Big Buck of the Night. This award goes to the top performing animal, and Kelly, who is it?
My John Deere Big Buck of the Night has got to go to Arapahoe. This famous horse is bred back to the world famous Chuckulator, and I know Leroy Fetting is looking down from heaven and just smiling. What a performance, Arapahoe.
Our Big Buck of the Night is sponsored by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. Next week, we'll preview the Pro Roughstock World Finals. We'll profile the top 3 event season leaders, including a visit to Cool, Texas with McKenna Wimberly, Hereford, South Dakota with J.J. Elsher, and Redmond, Oregon with Brian Bain. Also, we'll look back at the top rides and wrecks from the second half of the season. That and more next week here on RFD TV. For Gordon McCoy, Kelly Timberman, and Kayla Zadell, I'm Justin McKee saying thanks for spending some time with us. See you next time.